Now we talked about in the imitation, the vocal imitation, we call that an echoic. So you might see echoic listed. And what that means is I make a sound and my learner then makes that same sound. So they map on to the same sound. And it's helpful, especially in language training, because in things like gross motor movement, I can, if I want somebody to clap their hands, I could take their hands and clap them for them. So I can kind of show that. With words, I can't do that. You can't reach over and make the sounds come out of their mouth. So it becomes harder to prompt some of the words we want. If, on the other hand, we can teach them to imitate the sounds we make, and we can get that as a really strong response, then the prompting, instead of me trying to physically do it, I just produce the model and they can imitate. Then I can reinforce. So for instance, if I've got a learner that will always imitate what I say, and I say ball, and then they say ball, and I'm trying to teach them to ask for the ball, I can hold it up, and then if they say ball, they get it. But if they don't, I can say ball, and then they'll say ball, and then I get it to them. And so that allows me to use, and you see that called like an echoic to man transfer, is the technical term. All that means is I'm using that, the imitation of the vocalization as a way to prompt the response I want to then reinforce with the item. And so you can see, especially as you get into more complex language things, that vocal imitation is super important. And if you get it to, the stronger that imitation is, the better you'll be able to teach things. So initially it'll be teaching words and the formation of the words, which is fairly straightforward. But eventually you might be teaching intonation, prosody, speed, all of those things for social situations, for instance. So you eventually will want to make sure that you're able to get, that they're attending to your pitch and your tone and the speed, so that you can do things like teach them how to ask a question or teach them how to say a statement. And so both of those, if you've got that imitative repertoire and it's strong, you can use that as a quick, especially a quick correction. If they ask a question without the proper inflection, you can say, no, it's like this. And then they can do that, and you, oh good, here's the thing. Which will set them up for success in social situations, because you'll be able to provide the cultural references for them.